The United States, is a very wounded nation. Having a leader that is so filled with hate that every hate group has flocked, to this country. That the nationalists and white nationalists have strengthened during this time, and their groups, for 50 years shrinking, have grown. And in every other nation too, they have grown during this time. This is an abomination. The only other time in history this has occurred was just prior to World War II. It did not happen in the United States during that time, but there was a great rise in anti-Semitism, and there was a great rise in racism during that time. That's why the xenophobia was very strong, and it made it difficult for the United States to enter World War II. That's why Franklin Delano Roosevelt had to, on his own, enter us and force Congress to enter as well. Our lesson today is called Educating the Hearts and Minds of this, our wounded nation. From birth, we all want to live a happy life, and that is all right. However, many share the view that our existing education system and are inadequate when it comes to preparing people to be more compassionate, one of the conditions for being happy. We all possess the seeds of love and compassion. Having a smart brain is not enough. We also need a warm heart. The time has now come to take concrete steps to bring about a real transformation in the ways we educate all people, not just children. We need to combine both an education of the mind with an education of the heart, so that all persons grow up as responsible, caring citizens, aware of their obligations in the society to every other person within the society, and their responsibilities to all of the people who aren't strong. These are the principles laid out by and borrowed from the writers of the Constitution of the great 18th century philosopher John Locke, and one of the greatest economists of all time, Adam Smith. He that wrote, "All boats must rise together for it to be a just nation. Not just the boats of the wealthy may ever rise, but policies created to cause all to benefit in every economic boom cycle." Right now, there is the attitude that if you are young, because you are a drain on society due to the cost of your education, the cost of all the programs the young use, the taxpayers pay for, you are not worthy of life. If you are old, even though you have already paid for your Social Security, and you pay each month for your Medicare premiums, because I, as a taxpayer, must also pay part, you are a drain, so you are not worthy of life. The disabled of any age are not worthy because they do nothing and just suck funds out of the system that someone else has to pay for, and they need to go first. They are the least worthy of life for this reason. Even if told that the adult disabled are just like the elderly, with all Social Security prepaid and Medicare premiums paid monthly, these self-appointed judges of life merit, don't wish to be confused by any facts. The drug addicts and mentally ill, some of them still work, and some of them are still productive. They just need to get straightened out so that they can still keep working. Those that slipped into the disabled, well, we know what's up with them. Most are probably just faking so that they don't have to work, because they are just so lazy. These are actual things I hear said in line at a local Walgreens. The bigoted thing believing that everyone there agreed with her, as she said many of these things in a very loud voice. And I'm paying for your drugs, so you make sure you don't go selling them to anyone else. You hear me? The suburbanite white woman said to an African American woman. So I asked her, so she's only supposed to sell her drugs to you? Is that what all of us are to understand from that outburst? That you go about regularly buying prescription drugs from others as they leave various Walgreens? Or is it as they leave all local pharmacies? Do you buy from all races, or only from the black folks in the area? Oh, she looked at me with such rage and unfettered hatred. I should have been consumed in flames standing there. The 14 or so people standing about asked, "Yeah, what about that, lady? You were so loud about it with that woman. Why so quiet now, eh?" She spit at me and stomped out, literally stomping her feet as she walked. This is why we must teach more than the children. The adults, and especially the elderly, must be remedially educated so that as they go into required communal living, the lessons of how to get along and the playground rules that everyone over 12 years old has forgotten are relearned. Number 1, if you don't have anything nice to say nothing at all. Number 2, don't tell what you think or feel if it will hurt anyone, or if it is snotty, denigrating, or a put down. But it was meant to be funny. Doesn't matter if it was said in an insulting manner. Number 3, when in doubt, refer to rule number 1. Number 4, don't walk away when your name or family is being traduced by a bully. Think of Obama with Trump and the birther lies. And now Kamala with Trump and his birther lies again. No, learn to defend yourself with proper English words, and learn to use the language as your greatest weapon. Speak well. Speaking clearly and quickly will put any bully on his or her heels faster than any well-placed punch or any sawed off or F you. They can return a punch, but intelligent replies, they've got nothing for that in their wee arsenal of a bully's toolbox. Number 5, standing up for yourself does not mean insulting the other. Rule number 1 still applies. But being able to say things to the other, my opponent, traduces my family to a very low level. But she herself is from such a family, and therefore attempts to drag down others to play at her level. She had but to ask. I would have come out to play without lowering my entire family, just to fulfill her need for friendship. In that the bully is noted as coming from a very low status family, not an insult, but the truth. And a joke added, how she was not only traducing others so that she had someone to play with, and then an offer of friendship. She had but to ask. I would have come to play, thus diffusing the situation. And finally, number 6. Rule 1 is the golden rule in disguise. Honor it, always and everywhere. These are the rules of the playground. These are the rules of the communal living. These are the rules of life. Use them.